Hey guys, it's Salvatore. I want to do something that I've actually never done before, which is tell you guys my coming out story. A lot of you guys have asked for it, but I was just waiting for the right time, and National Coming Out Day is October 11th, and what better time to do it on National Coming Out Day. So this is my coming out story. So I grew up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, which is a small town outside of Philadelphia. I would be pushed around in the hallways. I would be made fun of in class. They would call me girl, they would call me gay, they would call me faggot. We were sitting in the auditorium, and it had stadium seating, and we were watching a movie about the production of life. There was a boy sitting in front of me. His name was Pat, and he turned around and looked at me, and he touched my face really quickly like that. And I was really shy. I didn't really talk in elementary school, junior high. I just kept to myself. I only had friends that were girls, so people would, shout names at me and stuff. But he touched my face really quickly, and I looked at him, and I just tried to laugh it off. I just tried to laugh everything off because I didn't want to make them see that actually I was really scared or hurting inside, and all I wanted to do was be accepted by the popular kids. So he turned around again, and he did it again, touched my face really quickly again, and then he started pointing at all his friends to turn around and look at me. And maybe like 3 minutes later, he turned around and touched my face again in a different spot. And at this point, I was becoming really embarrassed. And when I was younger, I would get this thing where my face would turn bright red when I would get really embarrassed, and everyone would laugh and point at me and say, "Oh, like your face looks like a tomato. Oh, he's turning red. He's so embarrassed." So I can just feel my face turning bright red, and I said, "Please stop, don't touch me, please stop, please stop, please stop." And he kept doing it. He kept turning around and touching my face in different places, and he kept, hitting his friends and saying, "Oh, like, look back at his face, look back at his face," and all his friends in the row would turn around and laugh at me. He did it maybe like 10 times before I was like, okay, I need to get out of this classroom. And the teacher wasn't paying attention. She was in the front grading papers. We were all supposed to be watching this film, the lights were dimmed. So I get up and I go to the teacher, and I ask to go to the bathroom. And she looks up at my face, and she smiles and giggles a little bit. And I was like, okay, she's laughing at me because I want to go to the bathroom. My classmates are all laughing at me. I just want to get out of here. So I walked into the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror, and I had black pen all over my face. He must have had it on his finger, so every time he touched me, it would make a little line all over my face. And I just stood there and looked in the mirror and just gave up. And in that moment, I did contemplate suicide. I was like, I don't want to be who I am. I don't want to be this person that doesn't fit in with other people. I don't want to be the kid at school that's bullied. I don't want to be picked on anymore. It makes you feel worthless and alone. And I think at that age, it really can do a lot of harm to a young kid, and that's one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about advocating for gay rights and advocating for anti-bullying, because I was there and it was hell. I would go to church every Sunday. I would pray to God, please don't make me gay. Please make me like everybody else. they would tell me that being gay is a sin. The first person I told was my best friend Erica, who lived across the street from me. After I told her, she looked at me and she said, "That's it? Are you kidding? I thought you were gonna tell me that you got a girl pregnant." And she gave me a big hug and we cried. And then I told my sister, and she was the same way. She was like, "Why didn't you tell me sooner? Why didn't you tell me sooner?" And I told my dad, and I told my mom. And I knew it was gonna be a big deal because I knew that my mother thought that being gay was a sin. I knew that her religion taught her that who I was and my sexuality was a sin. So I sat her down and I said, "Mom, I know that you've said a few times that being gay is a sin. I just need to tell you that I am gay." And there was silence. I told her that I loved her and I was still the same person. All I needed in that moment was for her to just give me a hug and say everything was gonna be okay. It wasn't until I met my first boyfriend and introduced him to her where I felt like she finally realized that the word gay wasn't what it was in her head. They just needed to see how happy I was to realize that being gay is no different from being straight. I just want to say to any of those contemplating coming out of the closet to their families, their friends, just know that it may take time for them to understand who you are, but there are so many of us out here who already do.